From the Concert Hall, Kennedy Center, Washington, D.C. Johnny Cash, America. Starring Johnny Cash. Guest stars June Carter Cash, Rodney Crowell, Steve Goodman, John Prine, with the Johnny Cash Show Band. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Cash.
On this old rock pile with a ball and chain, they call me by a number, not a name. Lord, Lord, gotta do my time. I gotta do my time with an aching heart and a worried mind. Judge, look down and smile. Said I put you up that river for a while. Lord, Lord, gotta do my time. I gotta do my time with an aching heart and a worried mind. Bob Wood.
To be with you, and it's a great pleasure to be able to do this show for HBO, for Home Box Office, and also it's a great pleasure to contribute to the Vince Lombardi Cancer Research Fund. We're really proud to be able to be a part of that. My daddy told me one thing. I said, I'll probably see a lot of people in government tonight, and he said, if you see Mr. Tip O'Neill, he said, I want you to tell him one thing for me. And I said, yes, sir. What's that? I don't know if I'll get to talk to him face to face, but I'll be glad to if I can. He said, tell him that I was there on July 4th, 1976, and he gave me a flag, and I raise it up every morning and bring it down every night. So, Mr. Speaker, my daddy said, thanks for the flag. I walked through a county courthouse square, and on a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, your old courthouse is kind of run down. He said, no, it'll do for our little town. I said, your old flagpole's kind of leaned a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it. He said, have a seat, and I sat down. Is this the first time you've come to our little town? I said, I think it is. He said, I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a little hole in that flag there when Washington took it across Delaware. And it got powder burned the night Francis Scott Key set up writing it, say, can you see? It got a little rip in New Orleans with Pakenham and Jackson pulling at its seams. It almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but she waved on though. It got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee Beauregard and Bragg, and the south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she took a bad hit from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low by the time that one was through. She was in Korea, Vietnam. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She got badly abused in Iran, but got a ticker tape welcome back home again. And in her own good land here, she's been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, refused. And the very government for which she stands has been scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare and she's wearing kind of thin. But she's in good shape for the shape she's in. 'Cause she's been through the fire before, and she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning and we bring her down slowly every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her upright. On second thought, I guess I do like to brag, 'cause I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag. Our first guest would like to introduce to you is my son-in-law. My son-in-law is a record producer, one of the best songwriters our business has ever had, and a recording artist as well. He is, ladies and gentlemen, Rodney Crowell.
Thank you, John. It's my friend Vince Gill here, Emery Gordy, Marty Stewart. I'm going to sing a song that my friend Donovan Cowart and I wrote a few years back. The Oak Ridge Boys had a big record on it, and I've always been thankful for that. It's called Leaving Louisiana in the Broad Daylight. Lord and Mary took to running with a traveling man, left her mama crying with her head in her hand. Such a sad case, so broken-hearted. She said, Mom, I gotta go, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out of town. I'm tired of hanging around, I gotta roll on between the ditches. It's just an ordinary story about the way things go, around and around. No but the highway, it goes on forever. Man, that old highway, it goes on forever. Well, she never would have done it if she hadn't got drunk, if she hadn't started running with a traveling man, if she hadn't started taking those crazy chances. She said, daughter, let me tell you about the traveling kind. Everywhere it's going, such a very short time, it'll be long gone before you know it. Yeah, he'll be long gone before you know it. She said, never ever known it when it felt so good. Never ever knew it when I knew I could. Never ever done it when it looked so right, leaving Louisiana in the broad daylight. Well, this is down in the swamp there where anything goes. It's alligator bait and the bars don't close. It's a real thing way down in Louisiana. Now, did you ever see a Cajun when he's really got mad, when he's really got trouble, like a daughter gone bad? It gets real hot way down in Louisiana. And so the stranger better move it or he's gonna get killed. He's gonna have to get it or a shotgun will. It ain't no time for lengthy speeches. Man, this ain't no time for no lengthy speeches. She said, never ever known it when it felt so good. Never ever knew it when I knew I could. Never ever done it when it looked so right, leaving Louisiana in the broad daylight. She said, never ever known it when it felt so good. Never ever knew it when I knew I could. Never ever done it when it looked so right, leaving Louisiana in the broad daylight. It's just an ordinary story about the way things go. Around and around, nobody knows but the highway, it goes on forever. And there ain't no way to stop the water. Thank you.
One of the biggest thrills of my life came recently when we did a concert in San Antonio in Kerrville, Texas. It was videotaped and broadcast as our spring special. And I got a letter from a lady in San Antonio named Jane Riley Bowers, and she had written a song called Remember the Alamo. This song came to my attention in 1956. Tex Ritter brought it to me. He had recorded it in 1948. And I thought probably the writer of this song was no longer with us, but it's a beautiful letter and beautiful writing from this wonderful woman. And it really thrilled me to hear from her because I think this song is a very important piece of American history. Remember the Alamo. 180 were challenged by Travis to die by the line that he drew with his gun when the battle was nigh. Any man that would fight to the death cross over, but him that would live better fly. And over the line went 179. Hey, Santa Ana, we're killing your soldiers below, that men wherever they go will remember the Alamo. Boy lay dying, but his powder was ready and dry. Flat on his back, boy killed him a few in reply. And young David Crockett was singing and laughing with gallantry fierce in his eye. For God and for freedom, a man more than willing to die.
Hey, Santa Ana, we're killing your soldiers below. That men, wherever they go, will remember the Alamo. Then they sent a young scout from the battlements bloody and loud, with words of farewell from a garrison valiant and proud. Grieve not, little darling, my dying, if Texas is sovereign and free, we'll never surrender and ever with liberty be. Hey, Santa Ana, we're killing your soldiers below, that men, wherever they go, will remember the Alamo.
We performed in this country and all of Western Europe and the Orient, and we had the pleasure of going to Czechoslovakia, and we did 4 concerts in Prague. It seemed that Radio Free Europe and the American Forces Network and the Voice of America and all those stations play a little country music, and they sang right along with us on some of our songs. And we'd like to dedicate this to a gentleman we met tonight, the Russian ambassador.
An old cowboy went riding out one dark and windy day. Up on a ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw, plowing through the ragged sky and up a cloudy draw. Their brands were still on fire and their hooves were made of steel. Their horns were black and shiny and their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky, for he saw the riders coming hard and he heard their mournful cry. Yippee-yi-yo, oh, yippee-yi-yay, ghost riders in the sky. Faces gaunt, their eyes were blurred, their shirts all soaked with sweat. He's riding hard to catch that herd, but he ain't caught 'em yet. 'Cause they've got to ride forever on that range up in the sky, on horses snorting fire, as they ride on, hear their cry. As the riders loped on by him, he heard one call his name. If you want to save your soul from hell a-riding on our range, then cowboy, change your ways. Today or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. Oh, yippee-yi-yo, oh, yippee-yi-yay, ghost riders in the sky, ghost riders in the sky, ghost riders in the sky.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to introduce a guest that I admire very much. A song he wrote came to my attention about 8 years ago. At the time, I was into another project and I turned it down, and everybody had a hit record on it. I don't know how many hit records there were on this song, but it's one of the classic railroad songs of the age. And this man is one of the classic writers. Please make welcome Steve Goodman.
Song I get to sing for you tonight is a song John Prine and I wrote, and we tried to put into one song everything that had ever been in any of the country and western songs we had ever heard. That's why I borrowed this hat from John. David Allan Coe actually recorded this. I'd like to thank him too. So here's the song. It was all I could do to keep from crying. Sometimes it seems so useless to remain. You're the one who always tried to change me, and that is why I will always stay the same. But I'll hang around as long as you will let me. I ain't ever minded standing in the rain. You don't have to call me darling, but you never even call me by my name. Here's the solo. And then they modulate. Well, I've seen my name a few times in the phone book. And on the neon sign above the bar I used to own. And there's only one thing that I'm really sure of. I'm going to hear it when my Savior calls me home. Well, we left out a lot of stuff. We left out farms, mother, prison, trucks, trains, getting drunk thanks to Coe, dead dogs like old Shep, and a big holiday like Christmas, saying, with all due respect, you can't have a good country song without mother, prison, farms, trucks, trains, Christmas, dead dogs like old Shep, and getting drunk. So here's the last verse. Ever since the dog got drunk and died, and Mama went to prison, why nothing round this farm's been the same. John, you know, when Mom broke out last Christmas, she drove an old getaway laundry truck right into a train. But I'm gonna hang around as long as you will let me, and I've never minded standing in the rain. You don't have to call me darling, but you never even call me by my name. Thank you, folks.
Steve Goodman. He'll be back. The mansion where the general used to live is burning down. Cotton fields are blue with Sherman's troops. I overheard a Yankee say yesterday Nashville fell. So I'm on my way to join the fight. General Lee might need my help. So look away, Dixie. I don't want you to see what they're doing to my Dixie. God bless Robert E. Lee. Sherman burned Atlanta and the flames lit up the sky. And all of us who survived it, watching Dixie die. And today at Appomattox, General Lee sat down and surrendered to the Yankees and Ulysses S. Grant. So look away, Dixie. I don't want you to see what they're doing to my Dixie. God bless Robert E. I'll never stop loving you, Dixie, till they put me in the ground. And the last words from my mouth will be, God bless Robert E. Thank you very much. It's my great pleasure now to introduce to you my favorite entertainer. We've been performing together for 20 years. We've been married 14 years. She is Mother Maybelle Carter's number 2 daughter. Mother Maybelle and A.P. and Sarah Carter were the first family of country music. Began their recording career in 1927. My wife is not that old. Ladies and gentlemen, Maybelle's number 2 daughter, June Carter Cash.
From the great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shore, from Greenland's icy mountain to the Southland by the shore. She's from Tennessee, boy, she's long and she's tall. She came down from Birmingham on a Wabash cannonball. Yeah, listen to the jingle, hear the rumble and the roar as she glides along the woodland or the hilton by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall. She's traveling through the jungle on the Wabash cannonball. Now she came down from Birmingham one cold December day. As she pulled into the station, you can hear all the people say, there's a girl from Tennessee, boy, she's long and she's tall. She came down from Birmingham on a Wabash cannonball. Yeah, listen to the jingle, hear the rumble and the roar as she glides along the woodland or the hilton by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall. She's traveling through the jungle on the Wabash cannonball. I do believe that my husband, Johnny Cash, has probably wrecked more trains than anybody in history. So today, tonight, whenever it is, I'd like to help him wreck a train. This is an old Virginia train, and we'll put it through the trestles here and see what happens to it. This features the band a lot and a little bit of everything, and it's just a lot of fun. Here is the wreck of the old 97.
Shovel on a little more coal. And when we cross that white old mountain, watch old 97 roll.
She's going down the bridge, making 90 miles an hour. We're so broke into scream. He was found in the wreck with his hand on the throttle, scalded to death by the steam.
And then the telegram came to Washington Station. This is what it said. It said that brave engineer that run old 97 is lying down in Danville dead. Oh boy. Jimmy Tittle. Across the river, there's a monument to the men who raised the flag on Iwo Jima. One of those men was an Indian named Ira Hayes. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. Not the whiskey drinking Indian, nor the Marine that went to war. Gather round me, people, there's a story I would tell about a brave young Indian that we should remember well. From the tribe of the Pima Indian, a proud and peaceful band who farmed the Phoenix Valley in Arizona land. Down the ditches for 1,000 years, the waters grew Ira's people's crops, till the white man stole the water rights and the sparkling water stopped. Now Ira's folks were hungry, and their land grew crops of weeds. But when war came, Ira volunteered and forgot the white man's greed. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. Not the whiskey drinking Indian, nor the Marine that went to war. There they battled up Iwo Jima's hill, 250 men, but only 27 lived to fight back down again. And when that fight was over, and when old Glory raised, Among the men to hold it high was the Indian, Ira Hayes. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. Not the whiskey drinking Indian, nor the Marine that went to war. Ira Hayes returned a hero, celebrated through the land. He was wined and speeched and honored, everybody shook his hand. But he was just a Pima Indian, no water, no crops, no chance. At home nobody cared what Ira had done. And when do the Indians dance? Then Ira started drinking hard. Jail was often his home. There they'd let him raise a flag and lower it like you'd throw a dog a bone. And he died drunk early one morning, alone in the land he fought to save. 2 inches of water in a lonely ditch was a grave for Ira Hayes. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. Not the whiskey drinking Indian, nor the Marine that went to war. Yeah, call him drunken Ira Hayes, but his land is just as dry, and his ghost is lying thirsty in the ditch where Ira died. Thank you very much. We've just recorded an album that we're awfully proud of, and we've tried to find the best songs that were available for this album. And we picked a song that was written by this next guest. He is one of the greatest writers, and I've said that before, but he is. We tried to find and choose the best writers and the best entertainers that were new on the scene for this show. And this one is no exception. He's recently moved to Nashville and lives near Nashville somewhere. Nobody can quite find out exactly where, because everybody's trying to get him to get his good songs. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend John Prine.
Thank you. Good evening. There's a song here I wrote about 15 years ago for my father. My father always asked me to, he's from Western Kentucky, and I grew up in Chicago. He used to ask me to sing Roy Acuff songs and Hank Williams songs, and I was trying to explain to him that I was a songwriter, too. So I put him in a song. I figured he'd want to hear it if he was always in it. When I was a child, my family would travel down to Western Kentucky, where my parents were born. And there's a backwoods old town that's often remembered so many times that my memories are warm. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking Mr. Peabody's gold train is a howdy-do way. Paradise in Western Kentucky, Muhlenberg County. And I used to go there a whole lot as a child. It's a pretty little town. Walt Disney would have been proud of it. It's not there anymore because TVA and they came in, they strip mined the whole area and tore the town down. I realized I needed the coal, but I kind of missed the town. Well, sometimes we travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down by Eagle Hill. Well, they asked me like snakes, and we'd shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles was all we would kill. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. Well, I'm sorry now, son, but you're too late in asking Mr. Peabody's gold train in a howdy-do way. Then a coal come the cane with the world's largest shovel. They tortured the timber and they stripped all the land. They dug for the coal till the land was full sacred, and then they wrote it all down as a progress man. And Daddy wants to take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but it's too late to ask me. Mr. Peabody's coal train does a how-to-do way. Let me go. When I die, let my ashes float down the Green River, and my soul on up to the Rochester Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you didn't ask me. Mr. Peabody's coal train is a how-to-do way. Mr. Peabody's coal train does a how-to-do way. Mr. Peabody's coal train has a how-it away. That's you, Dad. Thank you. That's Emery Gordy on bass there, and Vince Gill on guitar, and Marty Stewart on mandolin.
John Prine. Thank you, John Prine, for a great job. Ben DuBarry was a brave engineer, told his fireman, don't you ever fear. All I need is the water and coal. Stick your head out the window, watch the drivers roll. Watch the drivers roll. Watch the drivers roll. Stick your head out the window, watch the drivers roll. Well, Ben DuBarry said before he died, 2 more roads that he wanted to ride. Fireman asked him what could they be. He said the old Northeast and the A and B. He said the A and B. He said the A and B. He said the old Northeast and then the A and B. Pig and Martin. Early morning it began to rain. Round the curve come a passenger train. Ben DuBarry was a brave engineer, running wide open without any fear. He didn't have no fear. Didn't have no fear. Had her running wide open without any fear. Then Ben, he turned, shook his head, said we may make a land, but we'll all be dead. Train was a-flying by a troublesome switch. Without any warning, then she took the ditch. Yes, she took the ditch. She took the ditch. Without any warning, then she took the ditch. Play it again, Mark. Well, the big locomotive and the twisted rail, Ben never learned to tell an awful tale. His life was ended and his work was done when Ben DuBarry made his final run. He made his final run. Made his final run. When Ben DuBarry made his final run. Johnny Cash. Good evening.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rolling on down to San Antone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. That's Bob Wooten. I bet there's rich folks eating in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep moving, and that's what tortures me. If that railroad train was mine, that I'd move it on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Very much. It's time to bring back one of our special guests that you love so much. Please make welcome Steve Goodman.
Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning race. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 sacks of mess. Out on a southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out of Kankakee and it rolls past houses, farms, and fields, passing towns that have no name and freight yards full of old black men in the graveyards of the rusted automobiles. Saying good morning America, how are you? Don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans, and I'll be gone 500 miles when day is done. And I was dealing cards with the old men in the club car. Penny point, no one's keeping score. Just past that paper bag that holds the bottle, you can feel the wheels grumbling beneath the floor. Sons of Pullman porters and the sons of engineers ride their father's magic carpet made of steam. And mothers with the babes asleep go rocking to the gentle beat, and the rhythm of the rails is all they dream. Sing good
morning, America, how are you? Hey, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles when day is done. It's nighttime on the city of New Orleans. We're changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, we'll be there by morning. Through the Mississippi darkness, rolling to the sea. And all the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream, and the steel rail still ain't heard the news. The conductor sings that song again. It's passengers, so please refrain. This train has got the disappearing railroad blues. Saying good night, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles when day is done. Just a saying good night, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. And I'll be gone a long, long time when day is done. Appreciate it, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to do a song that sounds, we hope, like it did back in the mid-'50s when we started, with W.S. Holland on the snare drum, Bob Wooten on lead guitar, and Jimmy Tittle on bass. Here's our biggest selling, most requested song, one I wrote in 1956.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you, I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Please make welcome my sweetheart, my singing partner, June Carter.
got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson, I'm gonna mess around. Honey, I'm going to Jackson, look out Jackson Town. Jackson. See if I can. Well, when I breathe into that city, people gonna scrape and bow. All them women gonna make me teach them what they don't know how. I'm going to Jackson. You turn loose on my coat. Honey, I'm going to Jackson. And that's a fact. Yeah, we're going to Jackson. Ain't never coming back. Honey, we got married in a fever. Thank you very much, June. I like to sing with you, too. I really do. I really like to sing with you, too. Right now, we'd like to introduce one of our special guests, one I'm so proud of, Rodney Crowell, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a wildwood in the pines where the family used to gather. There's a little shady grove where we build a country church. There was singing on the ground, baptizing in the river. Glory, hallelujah, brother, sweet salvation there was found. So I believe that the saints stroll side by side in a land that lies up yonder. I believe that there are streets there paved with gold. There are people on their feet shouting, singing hallelujah. I believe that Jesus loves me. I can feel it in my soul. Pick it on the guitar. Well, there's a long and a winding road that I long once more to travel. There's a home place in my heart, sitting high up on a hill. There's a rosewood rocking chair and a place set at the table. I guess I better have a little talk with Jesus. Maybe he can take me there. 'Cause I believe that the saints roll side by side in the land that lies up yonder. I believe that there are streets there paved with gold. There are people on their feet shouting, singing hallelujah. I believe that Jesus loves me. I can feel it in my soul. Yes, I believe that Jesus loves me, for the Bible tells me
Rodney Crowell.
Sometimes it takes a companion to get through this world. And sometimes John and I sing about a darling companion.
Darling companion, come on and give me understanding, and let me be your champion, the hand to hold your pretty hand in. Darling companion, now you know you'll never be abandoned. Love will always light our landing. I can depend on you. Oh, a little saucy mare like you should have a steed. Darling companion, now you know you'll never be abandoned. Love will always light our landing. I can depend on you. Go, baby. Go, baby. Darling companion, come on and give me understanding. Long as we keep laughing, bear in mind just what could happen. Darling companion, I tell the mountains and the canyons, long as I got legs to stand on, I'm gonna stick by you. Oh, a little saucy mare like you should have a steed.
A little riding down from you is what I need.
Darling companion, I tell the mountains and the canyons, long as I got legs to stand on, I'm gonna stick by you. Darling companion, I tell the mountains and the canyons, long as I got legs to stand on, I'm gonna stick by you.
Thank you very much. Over in the plain of Dura, old Nebuchadnezzar told all of his subjects to bow down and worship this golden image he'd set over there. There were three men that wouldn't do it. There was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And the reason that they didn't get burned up because there was a fourth man in the fire. Here is a story from the Bible that we know, a story about a miracle that happened long ago. Let's all have courage when temptations we meet. There's somebody watching who'll be strong when we're weak. They wouldn't bend, they wouldn't bow, they wouldn't burn. Fourth man in the fire, they wouldn't bend, they wouldn't bow, they wouldn't burn. Well, the prophet Daniel tells about three men who walked with God, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Before the wicked king they stood. Now the king commanded them bound and thrown into the fiery coals that day. But the fire was so hot the men were slain, it forced them on their way. They wouldn't bend, they wouldn't bow,
They would not bow their knees to the idols made of gold.
they wouldn't burn.
They would not drink it by the
Fourth man in the fire, they wouldn't bend, they wouldn't bow, they wouldn't burn. Well, when the three were cast in and the king rose up to witness their awful fate, he began to tremble at what he saw, and in astonished tones he spake, did we not cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? Well, lo, I see four men unhurt, unbound, and walking down there. I see Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, in the fiery coals they trod. But the form of the fourth man that I see is like the Son of God. They wouldn't bend,
They held on to the will of God, so we are told.
they wouldn't bow,
They would not bow their knees to the idols made of gold.
they wouldn't
They were
burn.
protected by the
Fourth man in the fire, they wouldn't bend, they wouldn't bow, they wouldn't burn.
They wouldn't bend.
They held on to the will of God, so we are told.
They wouldn't bow.
They would not bow the knees to the idols made of gold.
They wouldn't burn.
They were protected by the fourth man in the fire. They wouldn't bend, they wouldn't bow, they wouldn't burn. They wouldn't
wonderful evening, and I think the best way for us to finish it is to just have what we would call a mini concert from Johnny Cash. These are some of the things that he does the best, and some of the things that are his most requested. So many people ask us why he wears black. It doesn't get dirty. It's one good reason. That's one way to start this. But anyway, this is the true Johnny Cash and the simple sound of the boom chicka and Mr. Johnny Cash.
Well, you wonder why I always dress in black, why you never see bright colors on my back. You wonder why does my appearance seem to have a somber tone? Well, there's a reason for the things that I have on. I wear the black for the poor and the beaten down, living in the hopeless, hungry side of town. I wear it for the prisoner who has long paid for his crime, but is there because he's a victim of the time. I wear the black for those who never read, nor listen to the words that Jesus said about the way to happiness through love and charity. I believe he's talking straight to you and me. I wear the black for the sick and the lonely old, for the reckless ones whose bad trip left them cold. I wear the black in mourning for the lives that could have been. Each week we lost 100 fine young men. Oh, I'd love to wear a rainbow every day and tell the world that everything's okay. But I'll try to carry off a little darkness on my back till things are brighter. I'm a man in black. Here's a song written by my friend Chris Christopherson, and I got this song in a very strange way. I got it right out of the sky. You see, Chris was living in Nashville and working as a janitor at Columbia Records before he got started. He was also in the National Guard, and he was flying a helicopter. And one afternoon, June said, "Some fool has landed in our yard in a helicopter." So I went out, and here was Chris, and he said, "I thought this might be the best way to get a song to you, to bring it right out of the sky." And I said, "You got it, let's listen to it," and here it was. Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head that didn't hurt, and the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. Then I fumbled in my closet, through my clothes, and found my cleanest dirty shirt. Then I washed my face and combed my hair, stumbled down the stairs to meet today. I smoked my mind the night before with cigarettes and songs that I'd been picking. But I lit my first and watched a small boy cussing at a can that he'd been kicking. I crossed the empty street, caught the Sunday smell of someone frying chicken, and it took me back to something that I lost somewhere, somehow along the way. Sunday morning sidewalk, oh, I'm wishing, Lord, that I was stoned, 'cause there's something about a Sunday that'll make your body feel alone. Oh, and there ain't nothing short of dying half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. In the park I saw a daddy with a laughing little girl that he was swinging. And I stopped beside a Sunday school, listened to the songs that they was singing. Bringing in the sheaves, then I headed down the road. Somewhere far away a lonely bell was ringing. And it echoed through the canyons like a disappearing dream of yesterday. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, oh, I'm wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. 'Cause there's something in a Sunday that makes a body feel alone. There ain't nothing short of dying, half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. I'd like to do this song for my friend, the Honorable Senator Byrd. Hey, look yonder coming down that railroad track. Yeah, look yonder coming down that railroad track. That's an orange blossom special, bringing my baby back. And I get some sand in my shoes. I may go to California and get some sand in my shoes. Ride that orange blossom special and lose these New York blues. Marty, I was hanging around the switch yards and minding my own business like I always do. And man with a badge and a gun, a railroad detective, come up to me and he said, "What are you hanging around here for?"
I know you well enough to know you said, "I bet you I'm hanging around here for whatever's going around." I think
That's what I'm hanging around here for whatever's going around. That's what I told him. Then I said, "Please don't stand on my feet when you hit me. It'll break my ankles when I fall." Oh, I don't care. Hey, you talk about rambling. She's the fastest train on the line. You talk about rambling.